I was gonna say because at first I wasn't completely agreeing with you on the bug there, but then it's the timing is where the bug comes from. I was gonna say the whole thing with signals is that you would not have to manage the synchronization of state. Like that was the whole
Right.
point. But the timing, though, I agree with you. The timing could be a thing.
Yeah, I joined a team recently, and they use effects actually in a lot of components, and they use
Oh,
it in the constructor, and it seems to be working fine. I'll just post an example of how they use it here in the chat. So what happens is that like if there's a default value or a value, they want to patch the form. So that some value, for example, is a input signal. So what happens is that, when the input signal gets its data, then the effect will eventually patch the form. So what I've noticed when I put the debug console.debug in there, that the effect fires at least once, there's no data, and then later on when the data comes in, it hydrates the form if there's a default value. What do you think of that approach?
I think it's good until we get signal-driven forms.
Oh,
Can I
okay.
try to answer this from what I remember from Alex? Normally, Dylan, I would say this could have a performance issue over time, and that's really why we want to avoid it, and it's a bad idea. But I think more importantly, this kind of pattern is creating a very nice place for bugs to grow, because it's just going to be really easy for your this dot sum value to get out of sync. Because when you're going in the effect, then it might not update, like it might not always have the current value because of the way that it's written. And that might not be noticed. You might get away with it, but this is how we create bugs without realizing that we create bugs. And if you don't know this, it could be really hard to debug that if you don't know why it's happening. So this kind of behavior is what will make it possible for it to get out of sync as it's updating. It's not updating in the right order, and then you're going to have buggy behavior, and it's going to be really hard to figure out why.
I was gonna say because at first I wasn't completely agreeing with you on the bug there, but then it's the timing is where the bug comes from. I was gonna say the whole thing with signals is that you would not have to manage the synchronization of state. Like that was the whole point. But the timing, though, I agree with you. The timing could be a thing.